Got the Texans Fan Better Podcast. Chuck Bridge, Fifth Ward Crenshaw. You know the best out there. Ken, Huncho, 713. To all my Texans Nation. If you feeling good, I want you to throw them H's up high. Yeah, like that. I see you. Yeah, Houston, Texas, born and raised. Yeah, that's where I'm from. The best city in the state. Yeah, we stay turned up. There's excitement in the air for the Houston Texans. We swarming all year, causing havoc, we wrecking. Coming off that edge, we got 5-5, top 5-1. Thing on the outside, locking down your number one. All about the swarm mentality. And the H, standing on business is the way we operate. I rep that 7 like CJ, A1 like his. They 3 like Dell, H-Town, we doing it big. You know that 12 out here, and don't you never forget. Better pick your poison, cause we got Joe in the midst. We rap that back.
Yo, what's good? It's been a minute, y'all, but it's your boy Ken. Shout out to my brothers, Matt, Huncho, and Crenshaw, Fifth Ward Crenshaw. They busy tonight, but y'all, we gonna, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna do an episode with me, you know what I'm saying. Of course, y'all join me. Y'all be in the live chat and all that type of good stuff, man. Y'all share the live. We're going to talk some Texans football, of course. Got a couple of things to talk about. And like I said, we're going to chop it up together. We're going to chop it up together, man. Y'all come on in. Give y'all some time to come in. Give y'all some time to come in. So, yeah, man, like we talked about the last time, we talked about the draft picks, man, and we're not going to really talk about that tonight. But as far as the draft picks and how I feel about it, of course, our first pick was Keelan, offensive guard / center from Georgia Tech. Yeah, Georgia Tech. Seemed like at first it was a head scratcher for me. It was a head scratcher for me, and I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I knew who he was because I didn't. But I did do my research and check them out, and also, of course, the Texans. You know, they was promoting him after the pick. Of course, when he came in, and even when he got drafted, and he said a little something, and talked about what he's trying to do. You know, when they posted the live reaction when they call him, and you know what I'm saying, he talking that good stuff. He sound like he a dog. You know what I'm saying, ready to work. And he talked that good talk. So at the end of the day, that don't always mean that player, the players that talk and, you know what I'm saying, say the right things. It doesn't always mean they're going to translate, right? But at the end of the day, as Texans fans, all we can do is hope for the best. For the past, it seemed like Nick Caserio has been very shaky at drafting offensive linemen. I will say Ariante Ursery, he seemed pretty good, you know what I'm saying? I think he has a bright future. He was pretty decent for us last year. He had some mistakes, but he learned from those, and you know what I'm saying, he moved forward. So I just hope for these next guys that come in on the offensive line can be pretty good, man. I hope he don't have no I'm not trying to knock Fisher down, but you know what I'm saying, I hope he don't have that type of production, or even the Kenyon Green and those type of juice drugs. Hopefully none of these guys have that type of production for us. We need these guys to come in, and I'm talking about Keelan, and I'm also talking about the guy we got from Oklahoma, Phil Etchy, something like that. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm just calling him FN. Okay, I'm going to say your initials. No disrespect, but I'm going to learn how to pronounce your name. But at the end of the day, he talked that good talk too. You know what I'm saying? Talking about let's put some people in the dirt. It all sounds good. At the end of the day, man, all we can do is hope for the best and hope these two guys can come in. And I don't see the guard from Oklahoma starting at all. You know what I'm saying? I think he's going to, of course, come off the bench, and if we need him to start if somebody's hurt, you know what I'm saying, he fills in. But I do see Keelan start, and hopefully he's starting at center. The good thing is both of them can play center and guard. So it's going to be a lot of competition going on as far as The guy we got right now at center, Jake Andrews, I'm not too much a big of a fan of him. I felt like he was okay last year, but at the same time, he got bullied a lot. And then we had a lot of miscues, like when it came to the snaps versus Steelers. Of course, we can blame that on CJ, but we can also put that blame on Jake Andrews as well. At the end of the day, we need that center position to be better, honestly, because that's the quickest way to get to the quarterback. And you know what I'm saying? And it's not just the center, it's the guard positions too. But at the end of the day, if your center is getting bullied, that's not a good thing at all. Like you need your center to be a dog. You need your center to be hungry and just ready to go annihilate something. Like just go crazy and protect their quarterback. So and I think those two rookies, they have that mindset and we'll see who's going to be that guy. I'm just hoping it's not going to be the same situation where we drafted Drew Struz and we also drafted Patterson on the squad right now, but of course who knows, he might not be on the squad when the season starts. But at the end of the day, like I said, hopefully Keelan and FN can be some guys that can, you know what I'm saying, produce for us. Let's move it on. Caden McDonald, my favorite pick in our draft, the Texans draft. Dog, man, from Ohio State. And he got that dog mentality. Most felt like he should have went first round. He fell to the second round. And we all knew, Texans fans for sure, and even the Texans organization, we've been wanting and waiting for that young D tackle for us to bring in that can be a straight up dog and really help out Will and Daniil on the outside by being, you know what I'm saying, dog on the inside. Yes, we had some good guys like Tommy and, you know, so I think he was undrafted, but also we got, we brought back, I can't think of his name right now, but anyways, we brought back a D tackle that we had the year prior with CJ and Will first year, and we lost Tim during the regular season. He got hurt, but at the end of the day, we had some guys here and there. The Nico Autry, he played inside sometimes, but he's mainly a defensive end. But for pass rush purposes, he would go inside and you know what I'm saying, do his thing at D tackle. A guy that I wish and hope we bring back, but maybe that's not going to be the case. But yeah, man, I would like for Nick Sirianni to bring him back for the cheap, for the low. But yeah, at the end of the day, Caden McDaniels, you know what I'm saying, he didn't start his first, I think 2 years. I think he got his first start last year. But he had a good, pretty production, man. He's solid. Like, honestly, he's a dog, you know what I'm saying? Big guy. Got some weight on him, but he can move. So I like that pick at the end of the day. I think he's going to be very special. He got big goals, but he's talking about he trying to be all pro. I think he said defensive player, rookie of the year, and all pro. So he got big goals, you know what I'm saying? Those are high expectations. He feel like that's not out of reach, but at the end of the day, it's good for him to have that mentality because he's obviously striving for that. And I'm pretty sure he's going to do everything in his power to be able to achieve that. So we'll see if he achieve that. It's going to be a tough task for sure as the D tackle, but we'll see if he achieve that. So yeah, that's it for the drop picks. Enough of that. Let's talk about the offseason free agencies and the extensions we, you know what I'm saying, extended the guys that was already back on the team. We're going to start with the offseason moves that the Texans did. And before I do get to that, I gotta, you know what I'm saying, talk about CJ. You know what I'm saying? For those that know, you know what I'm saying, everybody know what CJ did versus the Steelers, versus the Patriots. So I don't have to lay out the stats. I don't even have to remind y'all really. But for me, you know, for him, for fans, for the organization, it was a frustrating situation. You have people on different sides. You have one side that think, man, we didn't put him in a position to be successful these past 2 years. And then you have this other side that people feel like, oh, well, he had a sophomore slump and yada, yada, this and that, and he digressed and he peaked at his prime, his rookie year. He's no longer going to reach that. Yeah, I promise I'm not saying anything. I got a homie, shout out to my boy Kilo. Whenever you do see this, my boy, he thinks CJ don't reach his prime in his rookie season, and he's not going to reach that again. But I don't believe that at all. But I will say I was pissed. I was pissed. I said a couple of stuff I said Bryce Young was better. You know what I'm saying? I said some things that I was just speaking out of anger. I was mad because at the end of the day, as we know, the Texans had their best opportunity to get to the AFC Championship for the first time in franchise history. Not only that, they could have possibly made it to the Super Bowl. Meanwhile, 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 we played the Patriots, right? The day after Broncos played the Bills. And to be totally honest, me as a Texas fan, I'm sure other people, we was hoping that the Bills was going to pull that game off versus the Broncos. And that the Texans pulled the game off versus the doggone Patriots. Because if that would have happened, then we would have had an AFC Championship game in Houston. That didn't happen. We know what happened. Bills got whooped, you know what I'm saying? And Texans got whooped. And that game seemed very off. Like, don't get me wrong. Yes, we went on the road to the Steelers. And defense basically, kind of put the team on their back. Honestly, I'm not going to sit up here and act like CJ didn't do pretty good because at the same time, even though he had them turnovers, them stupid turnovers, he still was feeding Kirk, and Kirk was balling. I think Kirk had over 100 yards. He had a touchdown. And, you know what I'm saying, they was able to score a touchdown and kick the field goal, but that was it. And unfortunately, that seems like that's been the case when it comes to the Texans the last 3 years in the divisional round. And honestly, no, I'm just gonna talk about the last 3 years. We ain't got to go way back in history. But as far as like CJ 3 years, that's how the offense has looked the last 3 years in the divisional round. So, but we can talk about the first game, how CJ played. Is now how he looked in the division around the prior years, but the Texans offense was struggling to score. At the end of the day, defense did their thing. We had a pick six, a fumble recovery for a touchdown, and, you know what I'm saying, scored 30-13, annihilated the Steelers. So, you know what I'm saying, that was a crazy win. Some felt like we would do it, some felt like we wouldn't. That happened. At the end of the day, we go on to the next doggone game. CJ did what he did, 4 picks, dumb pitch. And it's like I said, it was definitely frustrating. At the end of the day, after that game, you had certain people try to put the trade rumors in the air. I'm going to say this. Allegedly, CJ agent put it in the air to make it seem like we're going to trade him or whatever the case may be. Like people trying to shop for CJ, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's how they do, y'all. Because when it comes to it's time for the money. We know that CJ was eligible for an extension this offseason. But if he doesn't get it this offseason, he will get it next offseason. If he doesn't, then we're not going to say he's not going to get it next offseason. But we see he's not getting it this offseason. And at the end of the day, Nick Caserio did, I feel like, and at the end he had to do a lot of things to show, like, hey, we got to get some things done because obviously the offensive line was better than the year prior in 2024-2025 season, but at the same time, the offensive line still lacked, you know what I'm saying, this past year. It was in the middle of the pack. I think we was ranked 13th or something like that when it came to the passing offense. You know what I'm saying? It was better. But at the same time, like I said, we saw that Patriots game, man. Honestly, like I just got done talking about Jake Andrews, he was getting bullied, and that was his former team, y'all. Like, I don't know where the pride was at, you know what I'm saying? When people play their former team, they go stupid. That's what guys do against my team, you know what I'm saying? When they lead the Texans, when they lead the Rockets, you know what I'm saying? They go dumb. You know what I'm saying? They go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Most of them go off and win the dang on Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I can go back to history, talk about the Texans, how that happened. I'm not gonna say all these people's names, but y'all know it. For y'all that know the history, y'all know the history. Y'all know this happens. Basketball happened too, but we not talking about basketball. We talking about the Texans. At the end of the day, that happens. But yeah, man, Jake Andrews, man, just was horrible. The whole offensive line was a little shaky, but CJ was worse because a lot of the throws he was doing was trash. At the end of the day, let's talk about what Nick Caserio did. He went out and signed Braden Smith, Wyatt Teller, on the offensive line. Braden Smith is the right tackle, as y'all saw. If you don't pay attention to Max Crosby podcast, he just got done talking about Braden Smith and talking about how he's underrated and he's really all pro type of right tackle. He's a dog. He don't say much, but he said that he had a lot of battles with that man. And obviously, us as Texans fans, we've seen him because he was in the division. He played for the Colts, and the Colts' offensive line is pretty much always good, if we being honest. Yeah, they may have their struggles here and there, but it's mainly due to the quarterback play when it comes to them. But at the end of the day, Braden Smith, solid player. You know what I'm saying? Right tackle. We traded off Titus Howard, and we got Braden Smith. He does have some injury-prone issues, but so did Titus Howard. So we can, you know what I'm saying, cancel that out. But at the end of the day, he's strictly business. He means business. And at the end of the day, hopefully he comes here, be healthy, and we need him on the field, like, consistently. If he miss a couple of games, it's cool. But at the end of the day, he got to be on the field when it comes time. Hopefully we make it to the playoffs next season, which I think this season coming up, I think we will. But if we do, we need him to be there, you know what I'm saying, in the playoffs. Wyatt Teller, he's an offensive guard, former Pro Bowler. If I'm not mistaken, I think he got an All-Pro. He an OG, you know what I'm saying? Offensive guard, but OG like he older, you know what I'm saying? But he seemed like he's hungry as well, so he's most likely going to play the left guard position. And right guard, y'all know we extended what's his name? Ed Ingram. But so yeah, like, it's a lot of moves that the Texans made as far as like getting these offensive linemen in free agency and also extending Ed Ingram. And they also traded for David Montgomery, a dog at the running back position. Some feel like he's old, even though he's not really old. But I feel like, and I think others feel like as well, he has a lot left in the tank because he's been in Detroit for a couple of years. And Jahmyr Gibbs has been the main back, but of course he was the second back, and they basically kind of like balance each other out. And so most feel like David Montgomery has a lot left in the tank. That's how I feel. To be totally honest with y'all, that's how I feel. I feel like he has a lot left in the tank because he hasn't really been used that much, you know what I'm saying, the past few years. So he still got a lot left in the tank. But I will say, I will not like the idea of bringing him in and just putting so much mileage on him, if that makes sense. I know we extended him. I think we extended him for 3 years, something like that. And but I don't want us to put too much mileage on him. And to be totally honest, y'all, I would like for the Texans to go get another running back. When it comes to Woody March, I feel like he's good. But I don't know if he's ready. Like, you never try to think about what ifs, but what if something happens? We have to trust Woody March to take on the full load. As we saw, yes, last year was his rookie year, and hopefully he can take another step. But you just gotta hope, like, hey, will he be ready for that? Because history, y'all, it does repeat itself. We can go back to Damian Pierce. He had a solid rookie season. The next year was a slouch. You know what I'm saying? And the year after that, you know what I'm saying? We know what happened with Damian Pierce. Wish that man the best, though. But you just don't want to be put in that situation. You don't want to be put in a situation to where you have to put all your eggs in one basket at the running back position when it comes to Woody March if something happens to David. So that's why I would like to get another running back. Some might call me crazy, but I'll hit up Joe Mixon for the cheap and say, hey, man, come on back. Hit him up for the cheap. I know we cut him, whatever the case may be. We had our rights to do so, but Nick Caserio and the Texans organization did pay him, I believe, $14 million last year for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he owes us at the end of the day. So I will bring him back. And he can be the third string, whatever the case may be. He obviously ain't signed yet, so, you know what I'm saying? Who knows what his health is like, you know what I'm saying, what he's looking like right now. Nobody really knows. But I would if you're not trying to go do something big, of course. And when I'm not saying we should go do something big, but just to bring in somebody that can like be a third string or you know what I'm saying, just be there just in case. And of course, you slowly work him back into you know what I'm saying into the role because at the same time he did miss the whole season last year. Some will feel like, hey, I mean, he missed the whole season. He should be ready to go rock and roll. But we don't know that. At the end of the day, I think the Texans get another running back. That's just my opinion. And to move on from that, you know what I'm saying, we talk about the extension. And also, I didn't mention Reed Blankenship. We signed him. That was a solid pickup, you know what I'm saying, to be on the opposite side of Kalen. And, man, this whole defense, elite defense, that got wasted last year. But we move on, you know what I'm saying? Nick Caserio made a couple of more moves, man. He made a lot of moves this offseason, y'all. He made moves like his job is on the line. And we all knew he needed to do that. I felt like he did that CJ rookie year, but maybe it was a little too early. But at the same time, he had some success. You know, Stephon went out, you know what I'm saying, after the 8-gamer, I think. And Dale went out, and we still did pretty decent in the playoffs, but when it came to that KC game, we was missing weapons, honestly. And, you know what I'm saying, got the short end of the stick and didn't win that game. But to move on from that, at the end of the day, Nick Caserio did his thing this offseason. We all was looking at that and hoping that he would do so, and he did. So shout out Nick Caserio for doing his job. Yeah, shout out for him doing his job. We may have some questions in some areas, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm not going to talk about the negatives. We're going to talk about the positives because at the end of the day, man, we've been, you know what I'm saying, that Patriots game, it was a lot of negatives, y'all. So we not going. And then shout out to our boy Bernard McKinney, man. He was on the pod a couple of months back, and he said something that kind of made me think. Like, CJ need us to be positive towards him. We don't need to be beating him down. And I respected when he said that and understood, like, yeah, the other team, they men too. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it just seems like CJ could have put us in a better position. I still feel that way. I will never not feel that way. But we have to move on. We got to move forward. You know what I'm saying? Hope for the best moving forward. And I feel like Nick Caserio has put him in a position where, hey, we revamped this line. You know what I'm saying? We got some dogs. We got some guys that don't care about no fashion, a.k.a. Titus Howard, a.k.a. Laramie Tussle. You know what I'm saying? We got some dogs to shoot. Our rookie say he ain't got nothing but a pair of shorts and some boots and a couple of collar shirts. He don't even. So these are all good talks. You know what I'm saying? This stuff we love to hear, but we still need the production to be what it is. But like I said, Nick Caserio did his job. Let's hope these players do their job. We know David Montgomery. We know what he's gonna do for sure. And honestly, I believe Brady Smith, as long as he's on that field, he's gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? So, and Ed Ingram had a good year last year. Hey, man, you got paid. Don't be on that bull crap. You know what I'm saying? Have one good year, and then you get paid, and then you go on a slot. I don't think you're going to do that. But just please don't do that. For the sake of CJ, because, y'all, we need CJ to have next level protection. Like, almost the protection he had it. Honestly, I want it to be better than his rookie year, because his rookie year was good. The crazy thing is we had a lot of guys in and out, but he still was balling. Titus and Lemon was out for like 4 weeks, I think, and the O-line was still good. You know what I'm saying? So we need this O-line to be elite. If this O-line is elite and we can pound the rock with David Montgomery and Woody March, you know what I'm saying? If we can do that, y'all, this offense will be better next year. So that's the goal. Obviously, that's the goal. So let's talk about the extensions. Mostly the extensions was on defense, but we had a couple on offense. Let's talk about the ones on defense first. We extended Daniil Hunter, Dalton Schultz, E.J. Speed, the best extension, you know what I'm saying, of this offseason. Will Anderson Jr., you know what I'm saying, became the highest paid defensive non-quarterback player, the highest paid non-quarterback player. So shout out to Will Anderson, definitely well deserved. Y'all ain't trying to sound like a person that just like, dang, it's hard to please, but no, I just wish we added one more year to his deal. I do, but I had a debate with some people talking about the The NDA is going to be different after 2030 or whatever the case may be. But I still wish we would have gave that man another year on that deal. But we gave him a 3-year deal extension, of course, and he's going to be here for the next 5 years, I believe. So that's still good, but it's like, dang, like, why couldn't it be a 4-year extension? You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel. The same way I felt about Darius Stingley. You know what I'm saying? But same thing. He's going to be here for, I guess I should say, the next 4 years. So, yeah. So, but anyway, shout out to Will. You know what I'm saying? Well deserved. Danielle Hunter, of course, well deserved. We need to keep him as long as we can. We done gave him a couple of bats, so hopefully, you know what I'm saying, we can, after this last extension he just got, you know what I'm saying, we can start bringing that amount on down to keep him to retire after testing, you know what I'm saying, but that's too much to ask for, I will say, I will agree. And the man on offense, man, on wide receiver 1, they call him Nico Collins, you know what I'm saying, he got a raise, and y'all, I'm going to talk about this because I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. These group chats I'm in, I've been talking about it, been telling people, bro. And I'm going to tell y'all exactly what I said. Nico Collins might mess around and do the same thing that D-Hop did before Deshaun got paid. As y'all remember, D-Hop was holding out. And he wanted a raise. Basically, what Nico Collins just got. He wanted a raise. He wanted a new deal. You know what I'm saying? He just had got an extension, but he wanted more money. So what the Texans do, what Bill O'Brien do, they traded him away, and the Cardinals gave him that money. I didn't think that same situation was going to happen here, but how am I going to say that? I didn't think Nico Collins was going to hold out and he was going to get traded. I didn't think that was going to happen. Nico Collins, different type of demeanor. You know what I'm saying? Him and D-Hop, two different people. At the end of the day, and also, as Nico Collins said recently, before he got his extension, he said, man, I ain't going to turn no money down now. You saw what they gave him. And I got to point this finger at the fans and the media, but it was mainly the Houston Texans fans and the people that cover the Houston Texans. Nick Caserio got a steal with Nico Collins' deal. He's just getting paid $25. And they just been doing that ever since he got that, you know what I'm saying, extension. And it's like it just kicked in last year. So last year was the first year of that new extension that he had got. That lasted 1 year, y'all. So he got a raise and $17 million cash raise. So he's gonna get $9 million for this upcoming season extended on top of what he was already getting, and then the year after that in 2027, he's gonna get an $8 million raise on top of that, and obviously he's gonna be making, I'm pretty sure, close to 30-something mil, or probably more than that. At the end of the day, he's gonna be getting a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So thanks to you fans, and I'm not even mad at the situation. I don't know if most know who Nico Collins' agent is. Our guy on this channel, Fifth Ward Quinshaw, told us, like, hey, like, before we even gave Nico his deal, he was like, man, that guy, you know what I'm saying, he gonna get Nico paid. Like, I'm not gonna say he's another David, but they say, dude, he, you know what I'm saying, he get his guys paid. So Crenshaw thought that Nico was gonna get more than what he got, you know, then, but hey, yeah, then got to that now. You know what I'm saying? He got his raise. They reworked his deal. So shout out to Nico Collins. I just need you to be on that field, brother. That's all. I just need you to be on that field in the playoffs. That's all I got to say. My boy Anthony said Nico top 10. Yeah, I think Nico top 10. I'm not going to say he's not top 10. Definitely when he's on that field, he dominates. I agree. He top 10 for sure. Some might argue he top 5, but I will say he top 10. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going. Because the best ability is availability. You know what I'm saying? You got to be available. And, y'all, he missed. I want to say, I know this last year he missed. I want to say for sure he missed a few games. And also he went out in the Steelers game in the playoffs. And he also didn't play the Patriots game. And he didn't play the last game of the season due to concussion, I believe, something like that. So I know he went on with a concussion versus Steelers. So, y'all, we just need him on the field. Wide receiver 1. So, Yeah, Nico. Like at the end of the day, it's definitely deserved, well deserved. I just need you on that field, brother. That's all. I just need you on that field. Um, let's see. And my boy Anthony said definitely not top five. Yeah, bro. I'm not gonna say top five, but like I said, you got some people that may feel like that. You know what I'm saying? So everybody entitled to their own opinion, but I know how I feel. He's not top five. Just my opinion. He's not. But you know what I'm saying, Nico, keep working, man. Keep working. Ain't nobody, um, ain't nobody going. You know what I'm saying, holding against you if you feel like you are. Just you gotta produce. You know what I'm saying, produce more. You know what I'm saying, be more of a dog. Um, Definitely in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying, we go get that ring. You know what I'm saying, maybe we might talk about it. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, man. So that's it on that. And like I said, shout out to Nico Collins. But as far as like, we also got to talk about this. I named this guy that we extended, EJ Speed. He's gonna miss some time. He's kind of like our backup linebacker. So he's gonna miss some time. I believe he tore a pec or something like that, partially to his pec. So he's gonna be out. No telling how long. They haven't really disclosed that yet. But yeah, wish him well recovery. And if he getting surgery, healthy surgery, and wish him the best, man. Another guy we extended, Dalton Schultz. Most of y'all know how I feel about this man, and I'm glad I'm going to talk about this right now because y'all know what we did in round 2 at the 59th pick. But before I go into that, Dalton Schultz, he got a 1-year extension. Well deserved. Dalton Schultz was definitely better this past season than he was the year prior. I would maybe last year was his best season with the Texans. I can argue his first year with the Texans was probably better than last year, but at the end of the day, he was pretty good for us. A safety blanket for CJ. He produced for sure. Don't have the stats to talk about what he did, but at the end of the day, he definitely had a good season. We just need him to block better. And I feel like the Texans did kind of try to go fix that a little bit by signing Foster from the Saints. Most of y'all probably don't know him, but he's a big tight end, tall, tall tight end. You know what I'm saying? He's pretty much a guy you just throw it up to. You know what I'm saying? Snag on everybody in the end zone. So I'd say a red zone threat. And yeah, so that's a cool little pickup we picked up. He's not something major, but at the end of the day, that's a cool little pickup. We also extended Brevin Jordan. Don't understand that, but man missed the past 2 years with an ACL injury. The same knee. But hey, the Texans extended him again, and we're going to see. You know what I'm saying? They give him a shot. We're going to see what he does. Cade Stover is being moved to fullback, they say. You know what I'm saying? I guess that suits him well. I don't know what to say to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. It really doesn't matter to me. But, y'all, we're going to talk about the 59 pick that didn't make any sense to me. You know, like I said, we not being negative, but, y'all, it didn't make any sense to me. Marlon Clean, tight end from Michigan. We picked him at 59 pick. I didn't understand this. Some try to say that he can be a sleeper, whatever the case may be, whatever. Y'all, I really didn't understand that pick. I thought we was going to go running back or maybe receiver or, heck, even you can say maybe defensive end. Who knows? But at the end of the day, or linebacker, really. I say that. You know, our boy Crenshaw, he wanted a linebacker from Texas Hill, and you know what I'm saying? But we went Marlin and Mr. Marlin. I don't know if you'll ever see this, but sir, you better become the next. I'm talking Tony Gonzalez, Travis Kelce, Antonio Gates, like Rob Gronkowski. You better become one of the greats, or at least not that, the best tight end the Texans have ever had. And y'all, we had some decent tight ends, you know what I'm saying? But for him to be picked right there, he better come in. And I'm not saying he's going to be doing crazy year one, but we gonna see. You just better. For one, I'm pretty sure you're gonna make the team. But at the end of the day, I need some production this year. Honestly, y'all, that was a head scratcher. The only I will say the main head scratcher of this draft, Nick Caserio taking Marlon at the 59th pick in the second round. That didn't make sense to me. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I know some feel the same way, but some might like it. Some might egg it on. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we gotta see. Like I said, he just better produce. That's all I know, man. I don't need no bull crap. Or we had drafted a dude that we was calling water polo or something like that. I can't even remember his name. And they was saying he was the Nets, Rob Gronkowski, and that dude didn't even make the squad that year. I don't think he was on the practice squad. But anyways, I got high expectations for Mr. Marlin. Why? Because of where we took him. And I'm not saying he's going to come in and be them guys. And I'm saying he need to, you know what I'm saying, come in and be. But at the end of the day, brother, we need to see some good production because you drafted too high, brother. You got eyes on you, buddy. Or Nick Caserio, we going to be looking at you like, brother, you was a fool for taking him at 59. Some felt like he would have fell out of the draft. But that's it about Mr. Marlin. I just hope you come in, bro, be ready to rock and roll, do what you got to do. Yeah, that's that. One intriguing guy other than Caden that we drafted, y'all, in the fifth round, Kamari Ramsey. I'm very intrigued by this young man. And he from USC. Y'all, this guy seems like he's legit, honestly. He seems legit, and he's a dog. Hey, look him up if you haven't already. Go and check him out on YouTube. Check out his highlights. He pretty good. I'm not saying he's going to start. He's definitely not going to start, but he's going to be a special team player for sure. Be able to show his talent on special teams. But who knows? Maybe he'll fill in if somebody get hurt. You never know. I feel like we have a quite bit of safeties. I believe we still have Stewart. I know for sure we got Reed, Jalen Reed. He was kind of in and out last year. But he's okay. But at the end of the day, y'all, I feel like we pretty much solid at the safety position. And we young at the safety position. Reed is Reed Blankenship definitely going to be the leader as far as when it comes to the safeties. But of course, we expected Kalen to be the best safety on the squad, of course, and be that ball hawk safety that we need him to be. But yeah, man, shout out to Nick Caserio. I'm going to end right there with the extensions. Shout out to Nick Caserio for doing his job, man, as far as the additions and the extensions. And, y'all, we got to talk about it. I talked about a little bit of CJ. We got to get back to it. You know what I'm saying? They picked up the fifth-year option. Most of y'all know this. And, yeah, something like dang. So, well, we know the extension probably not coming this offseason. Who knows? It might come during the regular season or it might come at the end of the season. We shall see. At the end of the day, I got a message for CJ. Mr. CJ, I love what you said, brother, when you said, I think it was at a church event or a fundraiser event, something like that. His foundation, he said, how do you respond to hard times, basically? And he's basically alluding to what he just went through as far as with his season. And he said, man, my response is what matters. You know what I'm saying? You can't change the past, which is true. I love what he said. You can't change the past. All you can do is learn from that and move forward and respond well. So, Mr. CJ, I really do hope you respond well, brother. I hope you go crazy this year. I hope you get the MVP, Super Bowl for us. You know what I'm saying? Go crazy. And if you get the Super Bowl MVP, you know what I'm saying? I would love all three of those things. Y'all got high expectations. Y'all know why? Because we really had our best shot this past season. But it is what it is. We can't talk about the past. We can only, you know what I'm saying, move forward and, you know what I'm saying, have high expectations, but press towards those high expectations. You know what I'm saying? And I know CJ got these expectations for himself. So y'all, he trying to get this bag. You know what I'm saying? He trying to get about 60 to 65 million a year, and hopefully top Dak can reset the market and get up to, you know what I'm saying, 65 million a year. You know what I'm saying? We obviously know why Dak is getting that bread. Cowboys, the biggest franchise, the most worth franchise. I think they had like $7 billion or something like that. Biggest worth franchise in sports, period. So we know why Dak getting that bread, but Texans ain't too much up there. I don't think they far down, but they ain't up there. But at the end of the day, CJ and his agent, Mr. David, is definitely going to be knocking at that money if we do big things this season coming up. He can get the MVP and lose the first round. I guarantee you. David gonna be like, yeah, we need that 65, buddy. Regardless, he don't get the MVP and we win in the playoffs 2 games and we go to the AFC Championship for the first time and lose. He's gonna be like, yeah, we need that 65. Like regardless, we know David, we know how he do, and he pretty good at getting his guys paid. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta say the names, but he pretty good at getting his guys paid. So at the end of the day, hopefully CJ do be successful, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, he's 3-3 when it comes to playoffs. Won the first round every year since he's been in the league. And that's not a quarterback stat, but at the same time, quarterback is a leader. So when you win, the quarterback get more of the praise. When you lose, quarterback get more of the, you know what I'm saying, the criticism. So it is what it is. Unfortunately for CJ, he couldn't do nothing but get the criticism, even when we won that Steelers game. So at the end of the day, like I said, man, I just really hope Mr. CJ, you know what I'm saying, do his thing this upcoming season. And that's it for tonight, man. If y'all have any questions, man, y'all can send them questions in here. And if not, you know what I'm saying, until next time, we do have something big coming up. The Texas Film Battle podcast coming up this Friday. Y'all stay tuned at, I believe, 7 p.m. Y'all stay tuned. Be on the lookout. We will be live. We got a surprise for y'all. We're going to be doing some big things this Friday, so y'all stay tuned for that, like I said. And shout out to Matt, you know what I'm saying, A1 since day one. Y'all keep the pod, you know what I'm saying, and y'all prayers for my believers out there. Keep us in your prayers, you know what I'm saying. And shout out to Fifth Ward Crenshaw and 713 Huncho, to my brothers, man. They weren't able to make it tonight, but y'all stay tuned. We're going to be back better than ever, for sure, together, all 4 of us. And that's it for tonight, man. Y'all stay tuned. Like I said, this Friday at 7 p.m., we will be live. So y'all be on the lookout for that. We got some big things coming. And I'm out. Y'all stay up, man. Y'all stay up. Y'all stay up.
I'ma calm down. Once we chop it up, there's an H-Town anthem, so we gotta slow it up.
This the best podcast known to man. We been raw. You heard it here first from Keno and Fifth Ward Crenshaw.